So we're gonna be creating 9 small planters. So we're gonna start by labeling each one. And so you just label them, and then you can kind of label them. So these are the rainforest biome planters. So there's one for each type of seed. So the rainforest biome for lima bean, we did the impatiens, and then there's one for ryegrass. Okay, now that we have all 9 planters, we're gonna sort by beans. So make sure you're grouping your lima beans together, the impatiens and the ryegrass, okay? So make sure all of those are together. That's ryegrass right there, lima beans together. Okay, okay. Now for the lima beans, we're gonna be using, we're gonna be putting the lima beans underneath the soil. So we're gonna start, so you have to refer to this table. Depending on the biome type, you're gonna be putting either sandy soil or the potting soil. So this is the sandy soil, so we're gonna maybe start with that. You open the bag, make sure you pick the desert biome label, and you're gonna be placing a little bit of soil. It does say that for the lima beans, you have to put them underneath the soil. My recommendation is to put a little bit of soil at the bottom. A little bit of soil at the bottom. Take the bag with the lima beans, okay? And you're gonna be placing 2 lima beans per planter. So take that out.
And that's the desert one.
Yes, this is the desert one, and it does in the worksheet specify that the soil type to be used is sand. And then you're gonna fill this up 3/4 of the way full, okay? So that's 3/4 of the cup. Keep going. Still not there yet. And you can just kind of look from outside. It'll show you how far away you've gone, because it's hard to look into the cup and know. I think that's enough. Around that much, yeah. Okay, and we're gonna do the same, but with the potting soil for the grassland and the rainforest. So we're gonna put this on the side. Just take the spoon. Make sure it's for lima beans, they go underneath the soil, but we are going to put a little bit of soil first in each planter. 2 lima beans, 2 spoons. Let's make sure you put around 2 spoons of the potting soil underneath. Okay, you don't have to have heaped spoonfuls, but it has to have a good base. You shouldn't be able to see the white at the bottom of the planter. And then take 2 lima beans and add them to each planter. Just place them there, okay? And now you're gonna do the same as what we did for the desert. We're gonna fill it 1/3 full. Sorry for the mess that I'm making. This can get a little messy, so make sure you find a spot where you can spread out a little bit. One more, I think, for the lima. Okay. Do the same with the other one. Just one more, I think, for that one. I think that's good. Okay, after following step 6 and planting all the lima beans, we're now going to follow step 7 and plant the impatient seeds. The impatient seeds are very, very small, so be very careful, okay? And we're gonna be putting 2 each in each planter. Be careful with these because they're white and very small. So just the same way like we filled the soil in the other one, we're gonna do the same. So make sure you're reading your labels. For grassland, we're putting potting soil, filling it 1/3 of the way. And the instructions say that for impatient seeds, you have to place them right on top of the soil. So I'll show you how to do that. So let's fill it 1/3 of the way. Okay. Now the instructions do say that you have to place them right on top of the soil. So I would say, you know, just fill it 1/3 full. Take 2 seeds and be very careful when taking these out. Take 2 in your hand, place them in there, and then just place a little bit more soil at the top, just so they're partially covered, okay? Just like that. We're gonna do the same for the rainforest. Fill it 1/3 of the way. I think that's good. Take again another 2. Place them there. Take a little bit more soil and just place at the top, okay? And then the last one is the desert biome for the impatient seeds. So we're gonna swap soils. Okay, we're gonna be using the sandy soil and do the same thing. So fill it 1/3 of the way. A little bit more. Just keep checking outside when you feel like it's 1/3 of the way full. Add the last 2 impatient seeds. Okay, they're right there. You're gonna take some more sand and just place them on top. Okay, now we're gonna repeat the same for the next step, and that's for the ryegrass seeds. The ryegrass seeds go at the top, so they look like this, and they're gonna be placed at the top of the soil. Okay, we're gonna start with the desert, so make sure you're checking, you know, your labels and you're putting in the right one. We're gonna fill it 1/3 of the way full. A little bit more, and you should have maybe a little bit extra in yours, but you know, you'll have plenty to fill all 3 planters with the soil, with the sandy soil. Just empty it all out again. And that's got to the 1/3 for me. I'm gonna take a couple of ryegrass seeds and just scatter them at the top. And they're green, so you can see, and they just look like little grass. Okay, now we're gonna repeat for the grass, the ryegrass seeds we're gonna do for the rainforest and the grassland biome. So we're gonna fill the planter 1/3 way full, just like you did the others. Okay. Maybe just one more spoon in that one. Okay. And then you take, maybe I'll fill, yeah, you take the ryegrass seeds and again, just scatter them at the top. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the same for the next one. Okay, that's 1/3 of the way full, and we're gonna just scatter some more seeds. Okay, once that's done, you can put away the soil on the side, and now we're gonna water all the seeds well, then cover them. So we're gonna take the spoon that we've been using, okay, and we're gonna put approximately 3 spoons of water to make sure every planter is watered well. Okay. So this is for the grassland. Okay. Okay, so this is for the ryegrass seeds. This one is for the lima beans. Okay, now remember, the lima beans were right at the bottom, so make sure you're putting enough water so it reaches the lima beans, because we place them right at the bottom. And then for the impatient seeds, we're going to repeat the same. Sorry. I lost count. I did 1 each. 2, 3. Just make sure you're keeping a count of how many you're putting in each one. Okay. After you do this, you have to cover each planter with plastic wrap. So you get saran wrap that you have at home. Okay. So I'm just gonna move some on the side because I don't want to drop any. Let's start with the first one. You just pull it out. Make sure you've got enough in there so you can put a rubber band around it. Just, there you go. Just take it, make sure it's covered. Take a rubber band, okay, and just put it around there so it's covered well. And we're gonna repeat this for each one, okay? So. Okay, now what you're gonna do is, it does say in the instructions, put the planters in a warm place and don't disturb. You're then gonna review the growing conditions, table information for each biome. So for the desert one, you're gonna leave it 5 to 6 hours in direct light. So you place it in the patio. So all the desert ones are the sandy soil. You're gonna place all 3 of these in the patio, okay? And you're gonna make sure that they have 5 to 6 hours of direct light. And then you're gonna even review the watering instructions based on the biomes. So let the soil dry to a depth of 2.5 centimeters below the surface. So you don't have to water these every day. You just follow it and maybe water them every 4 to 5 days. And you're gonna observe these for a week. And we're gonna do the same for the grassland. So these are the grassland ones, okay? And this is the same. You're gonna place all of them in the patio with 5 to 6 hours of direct light. You have to, for watering instructions, let the surface dry, then add the water. So I would say maybe water these every 2 days to see how they grow. Okay, and the rainforest ones, these need no direct light, so you have to place them in somewhere where there's no direct sunlight coming in. So maybe in the kitchen somewhere where you can there's no light coming straight to them. You have to keep these moist, the surface of the soil moist for the rainforest. So follow the watering instructions and water them daily, and make sure that the soil is moist. So you'll be able to see it with this soil. So make sure it stays moist, okay? Now, so we're covering these, but every time you want to water them, just gently lift the rubber band and lift the saran wrap, water it, and then put it back on and put the rubber band back on. That way, we're making sure that it's covered properly, okay? So you put it back like that, and that's why we're using the rubber bands on there. Once the seeds have sprouted, follow the growing conditions table. Again, you know, with the amount of sunlight that you need and how much water, and then you just have to keep the planter covered with the plastic wrap every time you water. And you have to observe the biomes for at least 1 week and record your observations. So there's a worksheet here where you're recording your observations depending on the biome type. Okay, and write it down, and then there's 2 questions for you to answer at the end of the week. Go. Okay.